The news headlines in association with
They're inspiring possibility.
Tonight on Look Up Weekend, President William Ruto left the country for London to attend the funeral of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Also tonight,
as per the declaration of the IBC, the registrar of political parties confirmed Azimio had 174, while the Kenya Kwanza had 162. This was minus independent candidates. All independent candidates are independent in terms of from the coalitions as at the time of elections.
Both President William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga are spoiling for a supremacy battle in the National Assembly. But where is the truth? And
si tunataka tu serikali tusaidie. Tuone kama hii umaskini, angalia ile nyumba tunakaa. You can think that I'm normal. But I'm not. Knowing that today I'm borrowing. Chakula ni kuomba. So it was a painful thing.
Victims of the Kariobangi demolition are crying foul for compensation from the government 2 years since the demolition took place.
Yippee! Kamata plotting at 349K. Oh yes! For only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optiven's plot of land, you get 10K cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
All right, now remember, you can be part of this program by engaging us on our socials at Amwai brand on Twitter at LookUpTV. The hashtag to use is LookUpWeekend. We are also live on Facebook. Send us your feedback there. Tell us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today. And I, Brian Amwai, will be able to sample some of it at the end of this program tonight. Now, President William Ruto has today left the country for London in his first official trip after being sworn in as Kenya's 5th president. Now, Ruto is expected to attend Queen Elizabeth's funeral set for tomorrow in London. Ian Kitani tells us more.
President William Samuel Ruto has today departed to London in his first official outing as president to attend the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. According to a statement from Buckingham Palace, the Queen will be laid to rest tomorrow in an event expected to be graced by thousands of world leaders. After the Queen's interment, Ruto is expected to head to the United States to join world leaders across the Atlantic for the 77th session of the UN General Assembly in New York, where he is expected to address the Honorable Assembly. Some of the prominent issues to be addressed by the Assembly include the promotion of sustained economic growth, international peace and security, promotion of human rights and the development of Africa. Ruto was accompanied by First Lady Rachel Ruto, among other government officials. Ian Keitani, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Now, Raila Odinga's Azimio insisted that they are legally the majority coalition in the National Assembly and fronted Opiyo Wandayi for the majority leader's seat. However, William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza dismissed the assertion and presented Kikuyu MP Kimani Ichung'wah to battle it out for the position. Now, as per the August 9th general elections, Azimio has a slim majority of 173 seats against Kenya Kwanza's 164 members. We take a look at what will present a battle for supremacy in the National Assembly, as the task now lies with the Speaker to decide on who is majority.
Our friends on the other side will choose the leaders of the minority because they are the minority.
The National Assembly, as it convenes once again, the battle for supremacy looms at the August House as the different sides of the political divide claim majority. The two sides over the weekend unveiled their top leadership in the two houses as they both claimed a majority in the National Assembly, setting the stage for a battle of supremacy in the House.
As per the declaration of the IBC, the registrar of political parties confirmed Azimio had 174, while the Kenya Kwanza had 162. This was minus independent candidates. All independent candidates are independent in terms of from the coalitions as at the time of elections. By that declaration, the party with the majority minus, because the independent candidates were not supposed to be calculated in terms of deciding who is majority. So Azimio were the majority.
Azimio dropped its clamor for majority in the Senate, but claims majority in the National Assembly, same as the Kenya Kwanza team, leaving the decision to the House Speaker Moses Masika Wetangula.
The registrar of political parties has put it rightfully that my role was to declare who has the majority at that time. The question now has been overtaken by events because now there is a substantive speaker. There are sworn members of parliament. So the question before the speaker is one, is the speaker who is coming from Kenya Kwanza going to first make the first decision that will divide the House into two? The speaker, being a seasoned lawyer and a serious practitioner in parliamentary standing orders, he is likely to call for a vote. Parliament makes decisions through one, a vote, who has the majority, two, acclamation, three, a ruling by the speaker. My advice to the speaker is that he does not need to make a ruling. All that will be is that there is a question to be determined. Members of parliament will vote, Azimio will lose. And once Azimio loses, then that is a decision of the parliament.
175 against their rivals 162. The post-election agreements are not legally binding since a political party can only enter into a new coalition after formally exiting the initial one. The clamor for majority comes with the control of the House as the majority side takes control of all House departmental committees, including the Finance Committee, the Health Committee, Labour Committee, Trade Committee and Industry Committee, among others. On the other hand, the coalition that does not form the government takes up leadership of oversight committees, including the Public Accounts Committee. Over the weekend, Azimio dropped its clamor for majority in the Senate and presented a list of its minority leadership, presenting Kilifi Senator Stewart Mazayo as minority leader, who will be deputized by Kitui's Enoch Wambua. Isiolo Senator Fatuma Dulo will be the minority whip, with Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna serving as her deputy. Azimio unveiled Ugunja MP Opiyo Wandayi as majority leader, to be deputized by Kadhiani's Robert Mbui. Azimio also picked Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohamed as the majority chief whip, to be deputized by nominated Member of Parliament Sabina Chege. President William Ruto, on the other hand, unveiled Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah as the majority leader, with Kilifi North Member of Parliament Owen Bear as his deputy. Mugirango South Member of Parliament Silvana Sosoro was picked as majority whip in the National Assembly, to be deputized by Naomi Wako. In the Senate, the majority leader will be Kericho's Aaron Cheruiyot, with Tabitha Karanjas as the deputy. Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale will be the majority whip, with Stephen Lelengwe as his deputy. Brian Amwai, Lookup TV, Nairobi. All right, now the mourning and commemoration following the death of Queen Elizabeth II will culminate tomorrow with the Queen's funeral at 11 a.m. London time at Westminster Abbey, an event that will draw dignitaries from across the globe and a massive worldwide audience watching online and on television. This is a report filed by Sami Adika.
Tomorrow, the 19th of September, will mark the final journey of a monarch praised across the world. Queen Elizabeth II will be laid to rest in a majestic manner, just as her stature demands. Grand procession through the streets of London to the Windsor Castle will accompany the Queen's coffin before she is buried tomorrow evening in St. George's Chapel at Windsor. According to Buckingham Palace officials, key events will include Monday morning, heads of state and foreign royals will gather at the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, before travelling together to the Westminster Abbey. The doors of the Westminster Hall where the Queen's body is lying will be closed to the public at 6:30 a.m. London time in preparation for the Queen's coffin to be moved to Westminster Abbey for her funeral. The Westminster Abbey will then be opened at 8 a.m. London time for global dignitaries invited to the funeral. Thereafter, a procession will accompany the coffin from Westminster Hall to the Abbey. The carriage will be followed by King Charles III and members of the royal family. The funeral service will be conducted by the Dean of Westminster with readings by Prime Minister Liz Truss and Patricia Scotland, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. After the final hymn, the coffin will be lowered into the royal vault, a burial chamber under the chapel where the burial service will follow at 7:30 p.m. London time. Queen Elizabeth II will be laid to rest next to her late husband Prince Philip. Towards the end of the ceremony, 2 minutes of silence will take place across Britain in honor of the fallen long-serving monarch in history. The service is to end at 12 p.m. London time. Buckingham Palace has not disclosed the names of attendees as at now, but President Joe Biden has said he will attend together with leaders of Germany and Italy. Australia's leader Anthony Albanese and New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, together with Kenya's new President William Samoei Ruto, are among world leaders said to have accepted invitations from the royal family. It will be a security nightmare at the Queen's funeral, as London police chiefs are bracing themselves to balance the need to protect the world's top leaders with the public's desire to mourn their much-loved monarch. Samia Dika, Lookup TV.
All right, now thank you so much, Samia Dika, for that report. Moving on, Kariobangi residents in Nairobi County are crying to the government as it has been more than 2 years since they were evicted from their land and their houses demolished. Kevin Mukoya is one of the victims of the incident, which made him lose one of his legs after a wall fell on him. These victims are now pleading with the government to be compensated, seeing most of them have nowhere to go. Grace Mureithi now reports.
The trail of inhumane demolition in Kariobangi 2 years ago still pricks to date. Kevin Mukoya recollects from the bizarre incident that left him with the bitter side of demolition. Sorrow mars all over his face as he remembers it like it happened yesterday, with the paradox of life that he is disabled.
Mimi nilipata ajali nikijaribu kuokoa vitu yangu ya nyumba. Ile unajaribu kutoa vitu yako ya nyumba, tractor ikakonga ukuta, ikaniangukia mkuu ikakatika automatic hapo. Nikapeleka hospitali, nikakaa hospitali 1 month bila kujua chochote.
Mukoya lost one of his legs after a wall fell on him as he was trying to salvage his belongings from his house during the midnight demolition.
Chairman wetu wa area naishi Korakaja, area niko sahi, Chairman akanitafutia watu wa human right. Kaenda hivyo nikaenda nikaekwa artificial, nikapata artificial leg, at least saina za chimutu, saina za simama nikifanya hiyo kazi, at least nasikia raha kidogo. Lakini kitu mimi naomba nipate tu compensation, nirudi, yani anze kuishi maisha ile unaona yenyewe mimi ni mtu naishi maisha normal.
Victims from the incident have continued to live with this trauma, costing more than 12 of their lives as a result of stress. Most of these residents are in their old age and retirees of the Nairobi City Council that the little money they had saved could not sustain them after the incident.
Wakati nasikia mnabomolewa, tulikimbia kotini, tulipata court order ya kusimamisha hiyo kubomoa. Imekataa kusikia maneno court, imekataa kuheshimu court, imebomolewa. Ni wakati mbaya, wakati baridi, wakati ya mvua, wakati wa mama na watoto analala. Wakati ya corona wakaingia saa 11 usiku kwa watu nalala. wengine hata ikiwa imelala, imegongwa jumba, imeangukia.
The distraught residents are now pleading with the government to give them back their land or relocate them to a different place so that their lives can go back to normal.
Sasa yeye ni rais. Vile alisema bei ya fertilizer ishuke, hivyo ndiye aseme watu wa Kariobangi walipwe, warudi kwa shamba yao na hasara ile yote walienda waweze kulipwa ni serikali.
Grace Mureithi, Lookup TV.
All right, now the family of the late Purity Wangeshi, a Kenya Institute of Mass and Communication student who was brutally murdered by her estranged boyfriend, are still crying for justice as they celebrate her 20th birthday in Ruiru, Kiambu County. The family still feels that Wangeshi has celebrated her day in absentia. Moses Okech now reports.
A somber mood on Sunday engulfed the Karenga's family with a picture in their mind that their daughter, the late Purity Wangeshi, will be sitting with them enjoying her 20th birthday just as she had wished. The family members gathered at Tango Gardens in Ruiru, Kiambu County, not only for the celebration but a crying face for justice.
It's our hope that this justice journey will not be delayed like other cases. We've seen cases of murder and they are delayed. And it really affects the family because all the time going to those court cases and maybe after that, maybe justice is not done. It is heartbreaking for the family. So you live in tears.
We know that there's quite surmountable part of evidence that was collected that, if used well, can really bring justice sooner than we expect.
The late Wangeshi was allegedly murdered by his estranged boyfriend and two others who are the prime suspects and who are now in remand. They state that justice will not have their daughter back to life, but it is better than empty hopes.
We hope justice will be fastened so that it's going to heal our hearts. It will not bring Purity back, but at least we feel that those suspects who killed them, because we cannot call them killers.
So we're hoping that in the mention of the bail and also in the case that comes up in November, late November, we'll have quite concrete evidence that can be able now to bring justice to Purity.
I was thinking if the supreme ruling can be done in 14 days, so it is possible even for the other cases, and especially crucial cases like murder, they can take a shorter time, at least to give a relief to the family.
Rose Karinga, the mother to Wangeshi, has fulfilled her heart's desire in organizing her daughter's birthday, which she recounts that
even in her absentia, we just felt like we would honor her by just doing what she really wanted most, celebrating her birthday, transition from teenage to adulthood. Because she had plans for that, we felt as a family that we go forward with it.
Feeling that even if she's not here, we've reserved a seat for her so that now we can recognize her presence for the celebration. And it's something that we would have thought that she would have been here.
The friends in her rejoinder stated disbelief of Wangeshi's absence in the ceremony, but hopefully her heart is at peace.
Despite everything, we have to move on. She's happier where she is than how she was here on earth.
Mimi up to now, sijaamini alienda.
The members present here, both from the immediate family members, relatives and friends from our media school, Kenya Institute of Mass Communication, sang a celebratory song, but many still do not accept that the birthday girl's seat is empty. As the family takes the last beat of the 20th birthday party for Purity Wangeshi, they feel that hope is not gone for justice. Justice for Purity Wangeshi. Moses Okech, Lookup TV.
All right, now we do pray and hope that justice will be served. Now, directors of private schools and stakeholders in Kakamega vow to continue embracing the CBC form. Now, President William Ruto's directive to form a task force on CBC follows complaints by parents and some leaders. Now, similarization of CBC to international curriculum. Now, the directors, led by Evelyn Tiani promised to keep the form despite the government's decision to scrap CBC. CBC plays a key role in the realization and development of the students' talents.
Non-governmental stakeholders have since sent a clear signal that they will embrace the CBC script in its entirety if Ruto's regime quashes and goes against the CBC.
We have decided that if this is scraped off and we are supposed to go back to 844, we will not go back to 844. We choose now to embrace international curriculum.
The stakeholders are hopeful that the government will consider the financial burden imposed on parents by the form of education.
Amebunu shirika la kutengeneza haya maneno na tutapata report hivi karibuni. But my recommendation on the board, mimi nasema waangalie pande zote mbili. Muzazi asiumi na serikali isiumi.
Director Evelyn Tiani went further to praise CBC for the role it plays in realization and development of talents, and more on the role the curriculum will play in reducing unemployment.
Teachers, we are also able to see talents in children. When you take them in music activities, you see a child who's just music all over, and you can easily say this one is supposed to be graduating into performing art. We have those who don't do well in written work in class, but when we take them out for activities, they are the best. So you are able to see this child can be built in this particular area of career.
Tiani urged the task force to put first the well-being of the students as they make their recommendations. Mudeundalana, Look Up TV.
All right, we are due for our first break here on the program. Don't go too far. We'll be back with sports.
Hi there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Maki Wamboko, Sales Manager of Optiven Real Estate, and I'm here at our head office, Absa Towers, located at Reuters Street. Today, I'm here to talk about our newest project, that is Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, and it is located only 10 minutes drive from Cedar Mall. And in this project, we have proposed that we will be having a GMC Entertainment Center. This will be a replica of what we have in Kitengela, GMC Kitengela. We are also proposing a police post, so you are assured that security, once you invest here, security is good. And we are also proposing to have a playing ground. We are also going to have a community ground. So once you invest here, you don't have to worry about the security. The other things, among the things that we are doing, or the things that we have done already in Great Oasis Gardens, we have already done the marking fence, and the roads, the internal roads are already happening. We have started the maraming the road, and we are still in the process of doing the maraming of the internal roads. And we are also sinking a borehole so that we ensure that our investors in Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, will not struggle with water. We are also going to elevate a water tower so that we have a constant supply of water in this project. And we also have a caretaker on site. The caretaker is on site, and he's there 24/7. And then we also have different sizes in this project. We are having 8, we are having quarters, we are having halves, and we are also having acres. One can buy in bulk, you can buy in big chunks, and that is why we are saying in Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, we are saying that bigger is better. In this project, what you can invest in, you can invest in private schools, you can also do holiday homes, whereby you can do Airbnb, you can also do holiday homes, and then you start renting, and you can also build houses and sell. You can also do apartments in this area. You can also do supermarkets. You can also build a mall, and then you start renting. There is so much that you can do in this project because it is not controlled development. We are also located along Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, and this road is being proposed to be tarmacked by the government. So coming from Nanyuki or coming from wherever you be coming from, it will be very easy to access the project because it is touching the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, which is going to be tarmacked by the government. My number is +254 722 355 107. Do not be left behind. Call that number. I will work with you. If you're in Kenya, give me a call. We go for the site visit. We select the project. We start the payment. If you're in diaspora, send a representative, and I will be delighted to work with you. And as we say here in Optiven, we shine because you make us shine. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, now thank you so much for staying with us here on the program and trusting us to continue updating you on what is happening in the country and also across the globe. Now, moving on, the country of Somalia has blamed the world, especially the media, for demonizing it with terror for months. Now, speaking during the launching of new policies to promote trade within the 8 intergovernmental authorities for development on behalf of Somalia, Abdi Dore stated that the media has been for a long time reporting negative. I beg your pardon. Has been for a long time reporting negative reports against the country. Shadrach Kareria now reports.
Significance of the trade policy. Speaking during the launch of the new policies to promote trade within the 8 intercontinental authorities, IGAD, Somalia used the platform and blamed the international media and the world for continuing to demonize it.
We are a region, for God's sake, and we need each other.
Somalia's representative Abdi Dore stated that many countries have since invested in Somalia and still keep on demonizing it.
Particularly Somalia, the private sector, they are investing. Everyone knows that they are really resilient private sector there in Somalia, and they are investing around Africa. You start from somewhere: South Africa, Zambia, Kenya, Djibouti, Ethiopia. They are investing a lot.
Dore stated that Somalia is not a war zone. It has always been said to be.
There's a lot of development there, but international media, they are talking only the negative side of Somalia. They are demonizing the country. They are demonizing the private sector, which means that then, you know, imagine the private sector who are building roads there, who are building airports there, who are building ports there, and they never talk about that. That's what I'm telling you. You cannot demonize Somalia. Somalia is Lebanon, 1980s. Lebanon, they developed, although it was a civil war there. But Somalia's civil war already finished.
Caroline Cherop, who represented Kenya, stated that Kenya is in plans to carry out more investment in Somalia.
Continue exporting livestock. During rainy season, bandits will try to steal the live animals to restock their animals. And as a result, as a solution to the conflict and as well as economic exclusion, we might need to look into value addition. If there were abattoirs or slaughterhouses that are structured under the cooperative settings, the meat would be slaughtered. Nobody would steal a dead animal.
Shadrach Kareria, Lookup TV.
Flying through the streets of Somalia Park in the middle of the park.
All right, now let's get sporty tonight. Berlin Marathon is expected to be on fire as double Olympic champion Eliud Kipchoge eyes a new course record slated for September